What has been the best film I watched at Tribeca 2026? Well, let me tell you, it surprised me. Now, the reason it surprised me is because it's directed and written by a person who I associate predominantly with comedy. And this film had lighthearted moments, but it was not a comedy. And that person is Zach Woods, who you may or may not know as Gabe from The Office. I hate to refer him to that because he's so much more than that, but I think globally everyone knows him as Gabe from The Office. And the film I watched was called The Accompanist. Let me just tell you, it single-handedly blew me away. And the whole screen, everyone collectively felt heavy when it ended. We were so moved by it, so touched by it. It was so memorable, and I feel so lucky to have seen it here, with Zach there, doing a Q&A afterwards. The story follows a young girl called Emily, who accidentally tells her school nurse her grandfather, who's struggling with dementia, gets confused. You can imagine then that social services gets involved, they rip Emily away from her grandfather, and they put her into foster care. She's been through a lot, and she's then placed with Sylvia, who's played by Susan Sarandon, and is now her new foster parent. The pair of them have a struggling relationship at first, but oh my goodness, when I tell you this grows into one of the most beautiful, absolutely magical relationships on screen I've ever had the pleasure of seeing. Oh my goodness. The young actor who plays Emily is a star. Keep your eye out for her because she's incredible. She had amazing chemistry with Susan Sarandon. Like, Susan Sarandon is a pretty big deal, and the pair of them had this incredible relationship on screen. It felt so real, it felt so natural. This film constantly kept me engaged, it constantly kept me excited, and it made me cry on several occasions. I think what was really beautiful about The Accompanist was that it wasn't just solely about foster care, and it wasn't just solely about dementia. It had a lot of very heavy themes sewn into the storyline. It was about grief, it was about motherhood, it was about responsibility. It also touched on moments of anorexia and mental health, and I think that it was all done so beautifully and so tenderly, and it really nurtured every single moment, and every single theme didn't feel rushed. I think Zach should be incredibly proud of himself for making this film because it blew me away, and I really wasn't expecting it to. Susan Sarandon gives one of her greatest performances in this film, and I truly believe that. She's so likable, and I think her character of Sylvia is so tormented and so heartbroken that having Emily come into her life feels like a whirlwind at first, but if anything, it saves her. The Accompanist, like, if you take anything away from my videos, I really think you should keep an eye out for this film because it's so moving on a level that I just want to recommend it to everyone. I think it's such a beautiful cinema experience, and it's something that I would never naturally watch, and Tribeca made me watch it, and I couldn't be happier.